There have been so many iconic moments in NBA history that have left a lasting impact on the game of basketball. From Michael Jordan's flu game to the Malice at the Palace, the NBA has seen its fair share of game-changing moments. Let's dive into some of the most memorable ones that changed the game forever. The history of sports is made up of thousands of heroes whom no one expects, but only the greatest have the courtesy to appear when the whole world is waiting for them. And Michael Jordan was the greatest. In reality, the sequence begins 2 possessions earlier when Jordan scores a layup that leaves Chicago down by 1 point. But the legend's determination didn't stop at that half of the court. As so often in tight situations, Jerry Sloan called the play to clear Karl Malone's reception at the left post. Jordan knew the plan inside out, and as soon as the postman received the ball, MJ abandoned his mark to make a surprise appearance and with a sharp flick, sweep the ball out of Malone's hands and into the opposite half of the court. Jordan gave up the counter-attack, preferring to play a pick-and-roll against Breon Russell, and at the moment he reached the left diagonal of the rim with room inside to maneuver, the universe exclaimed with conviction that he was going to do it again. A simple pull-up bounce was enough to send Russell fearing an inbound, and he was prostrate on the floor when Michael stopped short. Just a few steps behind the free throw, the owner of the neatest front-end mechanics ever signed his masterpiece, and knowing he was posing for eternity, held his shooting stance until he heard the silence of the Delta Center. The perverse thing is that, as glorious as the moment was, Jordan merely lived up to expectations, especially for those who knew the character and his game well. When Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points against the New York Knicks, the NBA world knew it would never see anything like it again. The fact that there were no television cameras to capture the event only added to the legend of the performance. That was until Kobe Bryant burned the Toronto Raptors on January of 2006 in one of the greatest single-game performances in NBA history. Bryant finished with 81 points on 28 of 46 shooting, including 7 of 13 from the 3-point range. The accomplishment stunned even Bryant himself. Teammates and staff alike were asking Bryant to autograph copies of the box score after the game. Then Lakers owner Jerry Buss described the game as like watching a miracle unfold. 18 years later, on Kobe's 81-point anniversary, Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid put up 73 and 70 points respectively, while Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker put up 62. With how the game is being played in this day and age, do you think anyone will break the legendary record, and if so, who will establish his name in the history books? The NBA Hall of Famer had plenty of legendary moments across his career, but none topped his picturesque dunk versus the Lakers. Chicks deflected a pass from Worthy, and history began to unfold. Julius Erving ran after the loose ball, picked it up, and sprinted down the left side of the court with the ball. With one defender to beat, Dr. J stepped into the lane, cradled and cocked the ball back with his right hand, and glided in the air, dunking all over Cooper. Chick Hearn, the Lakers broadcaster, couldn't believe it. He described what millions of NBA fans have come to know as the Rock the Baby slam dunk.
Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam.
With the Heat down by 3 and the shot clock off, LeBron James missed a 3-pointer to tie from the left wing. Chris Bosh then outjumped 2 Spurs to grab the offensive rebound. He quickly got the ball to Ray Allen, who was backpedaling to the right corner. Allen didn't hesitate and drained the game-tying 3 with 5.2 seconds left on the clock.
James catches, puts up a 3. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His 3-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Miami went on to win Game 6 in overtime and then take Game 7 for its second straight championship. James was saved by the man they called Jesus. In Game 4 of the 1987 Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers had a lead of 2-1 in an intense series versus the Boston Celtics. With the Lakers trailing the Celtics with 7 seconds remaining, Magic Johnson takes an inbound pass from Michael Cooper and drops a junior skyhook that put the Lakers ahead for good. The biggest rivalry in NBA history could sew a gorgeous quilt of memories from their epic meetings in the 80s. But one of the biggest plays was made possible by a shot famously labeled as the baby hook. Magic Johnson running skyhook that decided the outcome of a thrilling Game 4 of the 1987 series was pure poetry, both in execution and finish. The Lakers go on to win the finals in 6 games. On November of 2004, Meta World Peace, then known as Ron Artest of the Indiana Pacers, jumps into the stands to confront a Detroit Pistons fan who throws a drink at him as he rests on the scorer's table. This ignites what becomes known as Malice at the Palace, one of the more infamous moments in sports history. The game at the Palace of Auburn Hills in suburban Detroit, a rematch of the previous season's Eastern Conference Finals, was expected to be physical. With roughly 46 seconds left and Indiana ahead 97-82, Artest fouled Detroit's Ben Wallace, who shoved Artest, leading players and coaches from both teams to confront each other on the court. To calm himself, Artest lay on the scorer's table. Then a fan threw a cup of beer, hitting Artest. Artest ran into the crowd, followed by his teammate Stephen Jackson, leading to a chaotic scene. Artest and the Pacers' Jermaine O'Neal swung at two fans who rushed to the court. The remaining 45.9 seconds were never played. NBA Commissioner at the time David Stern suspended Artest for the remainder of the season, played his final game in the NBA in 2017. He befriended the man who threw the cup of beer at him. LeBron James came through with what may go down as the greatest block in NBA history in the final 2 minutes of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Honorable mention, Giannis' block on Aiden. With just under 2 minutes left in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Warriors and Cavaliers were tied at 89. Considering that James had already played about 45 minutes at that point, it's incredible that he was able to still jump so high. The Cavaliers spent much of the season preserving LeBron and monitoring his minutes. It obviously paid off with fresh legs that allowed him to create one of the most incredible plays in NBA Finals history. Mike Breen's commentary makes the play even more iconic. Cavaliers became the first and only team to this day to overcome a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals. NBA moments are truly incredible, and there have been some unforgettable ones that will never be repeated again. These moments remind us of the limitless potential and magic of the game. They inspire us to dream big and push ourselves to achieve greatness in our own lives. So with that being said, cherish those moments and let them fuel our motivation to create our own unique and unforgettable experiences. Keep reaching for the stars, and remember, basketball never stops.